This is the story of an Urbex going wrong, and this is the story of Roquel Bain. Roquel Bain was 26 years old. She was a nurse in a hospital and she was doing her job amazingly. She was also the assistant to many surgeons. She had many friends, she had a lot of family and all of that. So her situation socially was perfect. But, and there's always gonna be a but, she had a weird kinda hobby where she loves to go to haunted places and do an urbex. And that big hobby of hers led her to some terrible outcome. And just for those of you who don't know what an urbex is, let me tell you. Urban exploration, and sometimes known as urbex, is the exploration of man-made structures, usually abandoned ruins or hidden compounds of the man-made environment. Photography and historical documentation are heavily featured in the hobby, sometimes involving trespassing onto private property. So basically it involves you finding an abandoned place and going and exploring it and documenting everything like on a video or something. That's what you call an urbex. And so that woman, she loves going on urbexes left and right, and whatever she can find, she will go on. And the more scary it is, the best it is for her. She liked spooky stuff. Basically, they just like to go and explore. Just like I would like to go and explore my channel. Watch all of the videos you can, like, subscribe, and comment down below every video that you can too. Urbex around the world is very known. And a bunch of people around the world go and do their own explorations, and they document sometimes everything that they can see. And I know personally many YouTubers on the platform that sometimes go on urbex themselves. And so in Roquel's case, she absolutely adored the idea of going to an abandoned place that has a lot of dark history. And after a bunch of research, on April 2016, she found a place that for her maybe was haunted by a ghost, basically because it had a long history of trauma and all of that stuff. And so right as she was done with the research, she was talking to her boyfriend, made sure that her kid was taken care of, and then with her boyfriend they decided to go to that place. That place was in Louisville, Kentucky, and the place was a sanitarium. Ooh, spooky. And for those of you who don't know what a sanitarium is, let me explain. A sanitarium is an institution that provides medical treatment and rest, often in a healthy climate, for people who have been ill for a long time. Those kind of hospitals were treating chronic diseases such as tuberculosis or many nervous or mental disorders. I mean, I don't know if any of you would actually like to go to a place like that and explore, but me, you can just forget it. I'm good. But to Roquel, the more crazy it was, the best it is. And so with her research saying that in that sanitarium, with everything that happened in the past, which was pretty horrible in a way, that she was actually excited to go and see if there was a ghost in there. From the rumors, somebody saw a ghost at some point. And in this case, you're probably thinking, is anybody can actually just go in there and trespass on that private property and do whatever they want? Actually, no. That city had a lot of people trespassing in the past, and so they decided to act out. They decided to make that place, that sanitarium, a place where tourists can come and see for a fee, with a guide, of course. And so of course in Roquel's case, she actually took two places, so everything was kind of legal in a way because they paid for it at least. So they go to that location and they park in the parking lot until they go for their tour. But they were there way too early, like 5 hours way too early. So instead of just waiting in the car, she had her phone pulled over and she was actually searching what's in the area, what's going on, and she found gold. She found something even better than the sanitarium right next to her. So basically, in the woods right next to the sanitarium, it was said that in those woods was a creature, and the creature comes from a legend, the legend of Pope Lake. Just a quick heads up on what the legend is about. The Pope Lake monster is a legendary part man, part goat, and part sheep creature reported to live beneath a railroad over Pope Lake Creek. Basically, it's a big ass creature that will kill you as it sees you. So even if you are going and looking for it, you better not find it, because as soon as it finds you, you're done. And so apparently it hides under a bridge. All of that didn't scare Roquel whatsoever. She was actually excited to go in there and find maybe the monster with her boyfriend. So they go in the forest for a few hours. They're looking in, and nothing. But what they found is a barrier, and in that barrier it was written no trespassing whatsoever, and it was written all over the barrier, going miles and miles away. But that didn't stop her yet. So they found a hole. They got through the hole into more forest, looking for the monster, looking over here, looking over there, until they got to the bridge. They got to the upper part of the bridge, and they were on top of the bridge. So as soon as they got on the bridge, they actually saw that it was a train track. There was a train track all over the top of the bridge, and all of that still didn't stop them, because they believed that the train tracks were not functional, of course. So they're walking on the bridge, going in and exploring with their flashlights, trying to see if there is any monster on the bridge or under the bridge or in between, like in the bridge inside of it, but nothing. And then they get to the middle of the bridge, and as soon as they got to the middle, the ground started to shake and they started hearing some noises. So as soon as they turn around, they see the train behind them. So now what's their solution? The boyfriend gives her the solutions at that point. Their solution is either to run to get to the other end of the train track and maybe make it. And the thing to remember is the bridge with the train track, it has just enough place for the train to go through. It does not have any place for anything to be next to it. So if you go left or right, you're done. You're gonna jump. You're gonna make 100 feet jump. So their solution, just like I said, is either to run, or the second solution, hang from both sides and hang tight, because the train is going to be passing on top of the train track, and then maybe they can resist a little bit to the shakiness of the train going on the bridge while they're hanging on the bridge, only using their strength, and maybe they can make it. So at the very last second, the guy goes in, hangs tight. The woman tries to go in, but she's so terrified that she lost the time, and at the end she gets hit by the train, and she gets sent a long way from where she was. She gets hit by the train, and as soon as the train goes, her boyfriend, he doesn't know what happened, so he goes out and look for her, but she's not on the train tracks anymore, and she's not close whatsoever. So he starts to look for her a little bit more in the woods, and that's where he finds her, dead, of course. And at the end of the story, he lost his girlfriend, and the thing is, he can't even sue anybody, because everything that happened to them is because of their own fault. By themselves trespassed into a private property. They themselves got themselves endangered, and one of them actually died from it. It's all their fault, all their problem. And at the end, he still has to pay $1,600 because of the trespassing, and the train had to actually stop a little because he saw them and he tried to brake, and for all of that, he got fined $1,600. So at the end of this story, don't please go on any urbexes that you want to go illegally in a way. If you want to go on an urbex, please, it has to be something guided where it's not safe, but at least you know that nothing like this is gonna happen to you, where you might get hit by a train at the end of the day. So hopefully you guys stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget to like and subscribe.